What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to my MotoGP 17 career mode today. We're here for episode number 17, and first of all, I just want to apologize for not uploading this series very much over recent weeks. I've been quite sick about a week ago, and then of course F1 2017 came out, and as I'm sure most of you guys know, my available time for making videos is very, very limited, and I've been really focusing on that game. But now we're back here on MotoGP. I'm going to get this series going and try and keep it fairly consistent, but you know, with school, I can't guarantee any sort of consistency with this series, but I will try my best to at least keep this series weekly. But anyway, today, we're here for the Australian Grand Prix, my home Grand Prix here, the 16th round of the Moto3 World Championship, and today, we can wrap up the world title on home soil. Here we are, at home in Australia, at the legendary Phillip Island circuit, as we come down the Gardner Straight to start our first time lap here in Saturday's qualifying session as we head down towards turn number 1, Doohan corner, a very fast right-hand, and we've gone a little bit wide, missing the apex there, as we now head up to the southern loop, a really tricky corner. It is such a long corner. Getting the line right and getting the right drive out of this corner up towards Stoner corner is so difficult. But our run through there hasn't been too bad, and we are 2/10ths down on the best time so far, as now we head through the flat out turn 3 Stoner corner. The line does say to brake, but you really don't need to. But here, you definitely need to brake hard on the brakes for the hairpin all the way back to first gear and get back on the power. Careful not to run too wide. And then we get the bike back to the right-hand side of the track for Siberia, all the way back down to first gear. And a good exit off here is important because it sets the run all the way up to Lukey Heights as we go through the fast left-hander, now up to the hay shed through this fast right. Keep the bike completely flat out as now we head up to Lukey Heights. You can really push the bike up into here on the Moto3 bike, go really late on the brakes. We come up over the hill and now we plunge down to the old MG corner all the way down to first gear. And on the exit, you want to hold the bike as far to the right as you can to set up a run through the second last corner, the fast second last corner, and now up towards the final corner, the very fast final corner. Get the bike into the apex, just gotta lift a little bit, sometimes change down gear, but not this time. Now onto the power back, onto the Gardner Straight and down towards the start finish line. We've been fastest through sectors 2 and 3. And what is the time? It is a 1:38.6. There was a bit of a delay there, and we're actually 8/10ths quicker than the previous fastest time, and we go P1. So there we go, yet another pole position. I did do another couple laps after that lap you guys saw, but I only improved by like half a tenth over those next 2 laps. But nonetheless, we do get pole position here at home in Australia with Aaron Canet and Joan Mir joining us on the front row of the grid. Then you got Romano Fernando, Niccolo Bulliger, and Jorge Martin lining up on the second row. Here we are at the legendary Phillip Island circuit. It is race day, and it is a glorious day here in Melbourne. 34 degrees, not a cloud in sight. Perfect conditions to go racing and perfect conditions to win a world title, and that is something we could definitely do right here at home today. So, how does the championship look heading into today's race? So, I'm sitting on 299 points, and Niccolo Bulliger is in second on 232 points. He is 67 points behind us, and after today's race, there will only be 50 points maximum up for grabs. Today, there is 75 points up for grabs going into this race, so he still has a mathematical chance, but he has to score 17 points more than I do this weekend here in Australia. So that means he would have to finish first or second, and I would have to not finish in the top 15 for the championship to go to the next round of the season. So things are looking pretty good for us to win the championship here in our home Grand Prix in Australia.
Just a few more seconds for the race to start. Will those riders on the front row be able to make the most of their advantage? Will those pre-race nerves get the better of them?
Here we go. It is race time here in Australia. We get the bike up into first gear. The revs rise, the lights are on. And it's lights out, and away we go. The Australian Grand Prix is underway. And how has our start been? It has been pretty decent, and we should be able to lead down into turn number 1 as we head down to the first corner. Is anyone going to try it up my inside? Doesn't look like it. And we hold onto the lead as we head up towards the southern loop for the first time in today's Grand Prix, but we have run the bike just a little bit wide, and Canet has snuck through, and so has our championship rival, Nicolo Bulliger and Romano Fenati there. Not a good run through the southern loop here on lap number 1, and we've lost 3 places down to 4th places now through Stoner Corner. Can we get close enough as we head into the hairpin? These guys really do have a bit of a break on us already, and we're going to have to work hard to close that gap. Back down as our teammate is running into us there through the hairpin, almost knocking us down off our bike as we head up towards Siberia. Right now, I need the guys behind just to F off a little bit so I can try to catch up to the front 3 as Antonelli is ignoring what I'm saying, trying to give us a little bit of a fight as we head past the hay shed for the first time in this Australian Grand Prix. And I've got the line slightly wrong. I actually had to lift out, and Mia has got the move. We're going to try to push back up his inside as we head through Lukey Heights, around his outside as we head over the hill and down into the old MG corner. Mia gives a little bit of a hit as our teammate tries to sneak up the inside, and he can't make that stick, but around the outside of the penultimate corner, no, he cannot make that move stick. And it looks like Fernando and Canet have got into each other a little bit. I think it was at MG corner, and they've fallen a little bit back off Bulliger, and we are now right on the back of Aaron Canet's back. Onto the Gardner straight we go to end lap number 1 of 12 of this Australian Grand Prix. We've got the run on Fernando, amazing toe down the straight. We get past Fernando and possibly up the inside of Canet as we head down towards the Doohan corner, up his inside, and we get that move done back up into 2nd place. And now we have to hunt down Bulliger, who's got a bit of a lead in the early phase of this Grand Prix as we head through the southern loop for the 2nd time in this race. We get the line much better that time, and we don't lose many positions. But now as we head through Stoner Corner, turn 3, we could be under attack as we head up towards the hairpin. I can see Canet is coming up our inside as we get onto the brakes for the hairpin. We have run it a little bit deep, and he's going to get that move done as Antonelli is trying to get the move up our inside as well. As now we're going to go back up the inside of Canet as we head down to Siberia. Or we don't. He's got the run around the outside, and we cannot make that move stick, and that's given the opportunity to our teammate Nicolo Antonelli, and he has taken it up our inside, and he has moved himself up onto the podium, but up the inside through the hay shed, and we get that move done back onto the podium up the inside of Canet as we head up towards Lukey Heights, and we should be able to get this move done as now we head over the crest and down into the old MG corner. And I think we have got that move done back into 2nd place, and now we need to put our heads down and try to catch up to our championship rival Nicolo Bulliger. We could be under attack as we head up towards the turn 4 hairpin, and here comes our teammate up our inside at the hairpin. He gets that move done, but we're going to try to fight back as we head down towards Siberia, up his inside into Siberia. We get the bike pulled up for the corner, and we get that move done back into 2nd place. But this battling with our teammate is really not helping us as Bulliger, I believe, has pulled out to over a 2nd gap now at the front of this Australian Grand Prix. Oh! Mino has just dived up our inside, hit us, and fallen off his bike. That scared the daylights out of me as we headed through the turn 4 hairpin. I have no idea what Mino was doing there, but he just came straight up our inside into the side of our bike and down, and I don't know how the hell we are still upright on our motorcycle right now. We should have been down and out of this Grand Prix in that incident, as well as now up to Lukey Heights around the outside of our teammate, and we retake 2nd place. But that's just going to lose us even more time to Bulliger up ahead. The gap is now 2.3 seconds to Nicolo Bulliger. That moment at the hairpin has really not helped us as Antonelli has gotten back through as we stuffed up MG corner a little bit now to the outside through the fast final corner and onto the Gardner straight. Can we make this work right around the outside of our teammate? No, we can't, but we can get into his slipstream as we head onto the straight up towards the start-finish line to start lap number 5 of 12 of this Grand Prix. And he seems to have a slightly better run as we head down to the Doohan corner, and he gets the move done. He just cuts us off at the apex there. A nice move from our teammate, but can we try it up the inside of the southern loop? Aggressive up the inside, and we should be able to get this move done back into 2nd place. We are at the halfway point of this race, and as you can see, I have gapped the pack behind, and I've brought the gap down to 1.2 seconds to Bulliger up ahead. I've got my eyes set on that VR46 bike. I want to win this race as well as the championship today. and I'll win the championship as it is if it was to finish right now, but I want to win the championship by winning my home Grand Prix. It would just be the perfect way to win the world title, so I'm trying to hunt down Bulega as much as I can. As I've had a poor run through the first sector, and I've actually lost about 0.4 of a second, but I've noticed watching the splits, it's through Lukey Heights is where I gain all of my time. We have 4 laps to go here in Australia, and the gap is down to 0.6 of a second to Nicolo Bulega just in front of us. You can see we are really closing up to the Italian now. God, you can just see how much I close up to Bulega through Lukey Heights. I've just got so much more confidence than the Italian through that part of the circuit. And now we're right on the Italian's rear tire as we head through the final corner and onto the Gardner Straight to end lap number 9 of 12 of this Australian Grand Prix. And we're in the slipstream of Bulega, getting a beautiful tow as we pull out of the slipstream across the line, and we're going to take the lead of our home Grand Prix on lap number 10 of 12 here as he gives the back of our bike a little bit of a tap as we brake for the first corner, and we have got that move done into the lead of this Grand Prix, but it is not done yet. I've got Bulega right on my rear tire, and he's going to try to make a move just like that on the exit of the Southern Loop. That's probably the corner on this circuit that I've been struggling with the most over the course of this weekend, but through Stoner Corner, can we try it up the inside of the hairpin hard? On the brakes, get the bike pulled up, and we've run it in a little bit deep, and he goes back up our inside, and he holds on to the lead. Now can we try and up the inside of Siberia? Up the inside we go, up the inside of Bulega, using a lot of curb on the inside. And we get that move done into the lead of this Australian Grand Prix. Now we head past the hay shed and up towards Lukey Heights. If we can get a good run through here, I could just get enough of a gap to break away. If I don't get the perfect run through here, he should be close enough to get in our slipstream down the Gardner Straight and challenge us down into Doan Corner through Lukey Heights and MG Corner. It's been a decent run through there, but has it been good enough now through the penultimate corner as we head up to the very fast final corner? He is still just behind us. I can see it on the mini-map. Is he close enough to get a good tow and get back past us down this Gardner Straight? We're about to find out as we open up the throttle onto the Gardner Straight, and you can see he has fallen a long way back as we start the penultimate lap of this Australian Grand Prix. The gap is now almost 1 second, 9/10 of a second. Now we just need to get our head down and keep doing what we're doing for the last 2 laps, and we should be able to win our home Grand Prix, the Australian Grand Prix, and the Moto3 World Championship. Here we go, 1 lap to go here in Australia, and the gap is now 1.2 seconds back to Bulega. I think we have this race in the bag, barring any catastrophic mistakes. Here we go, 1 corner to go through the final corner and onto the Gardner Straight for the final time here in the Australian Grand Prix, up towards the start-finish line, and we're going to win our home Grand Prix and the Moto3 World Championship. Get in. What a race that was, and we come out with not only another race victory, but as the champion of the world for Moto3 in this season. The winning margin in the end was 1.2 seconds back to Nicolo Bulega, with Nicolo Antonelli joining us on the podium. So a double podium for Red Bull KTM and an all KTM podium. In fact, an all KTM top 4 with Philip Erdl coming home in 4th place. And you got Aaron Canet in 5th, Romano Fenardi in 6th, Mir down in 7th, Jorge Martin in 8th, John McPhee in 9th, and Enea Bastianini rounding out the top 10 with Mino in 11th. Now, I'm fairly sure he was the guy that rode straight into the side of our bike and went down and out of the race, and he's come back to 11th place. That is an amazing ride there for Mino. So like I just said, we are the Moto3 World Champions, and here are the final riders' standings. As you can see, the gap is 72 points between myself and Bulliger, with only 2 races to go. And in 2 races, the maximum points you can score is 50, so nobody can overthrow me. I am the champion of the world for Moto3 with 324 points with 2 races still to go. Then you got Bulliger in second with 252 points. He is looking pretty safe in second place. And Mia, who was strong through the first half of the season, has actually dropped back to third place. His second half to the season has been really weak. Like Bulliger and Mia, one was strong in the first half of the season with the other being rather weak, and they've swapped roles for the second half of the season, and Bulliger seems to have come out on top between those two. And Mia is not actually safe in third place. He has Mino just behind him in fourth on 207 points. Only, what is that, about, my maths is failing me, 8 points back off Mia there. The battle for third is quite close in the championship. In the Constructors' standings, KTM have definitely won it now. If we hadn't already won it a few rounds ago, I haven't been paying that much attention to the Constructors, I will admit, but we have a 118-point lead over Honda, so I think that is done and dusted. KTM are the Constructors' champions with 386 points. Honda only on 268. Then you got Mahindra in third place on 1 point. That is 1 point more than Peugeot, who are sitting on 0. So it looks like Mahindra are pretty safe in third place. So I would be very surprised if the Constructors' standings change at all between now and the end of the season. And there we go, confirmation, we are the Moto3 World Championship winners. There we go, first place, myself with 324 points. We are the World Champion, as it quite nicely says there on the right-hand side of the screen. So there we go, we are the Moto3 World Champions. We still have another 2 races to go. Next time out, we head to the Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia, of course, for the Malaysian Grand Prix, and that's going to be in the next episode. So that's going to do it for today, guys. If you guys have, actually, we've got an email by the looks of things. I have not checked these emails at all throughout the course of this season, and to be fair, I think this is the first email we have got since the start of the season, and just saying we are the Moto3 World Championship, our manager, our personal manager, just letting us know. Hi Lachlan, seeing you become a Moto3 World Champion has impressed plenty of the guys in the pits. You're a very young rider, but this year you've shown all the maturity needed to become a champion. Keep on the right track, and I'm sure we'll soon see you coming in even greater competition. So hopefully next season we should be able to move up to Moto2. And let's just have a look at the teams we actually do have available to us. We have everyone but the top 4 teams at this stage, and we require 300,000 reputation for any of these 3 top teams, and we're sitting on 250,000 at this stage. We're getting around 15,000 each race, so I think we're going to fall about 20,000 short of getting one of the top rides in Moto2, unless there is some sort of end of season bonus that's about 20,000 reputation or more. You know, we are world champions, so I'd expect some sort of bonus in reputation for that, because we didn't actually get any bonus for winning it this round of the season. So hopefully we do get a bonus at the end of the season, and we can move up to a top Moto2 team for the next season. But I've just been rambling for a whole minute or so there. I'm going to stop rambling and end this video. That's going to do it for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you do smash that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe for much more MotoGP 17 content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been XFitro, and I'll see you all next time.